Hey, perfect timing. Just finished this guitar up. It's a 23-inch scale neck, dual rail humbucker in the size of a single coil, 23-inch scale, 3-string, homemade bridge, thin line body, and it sounds really good. So this is July 2nd, Central Florida. It is 93, 94 degrees outside with a feels like of 106. I came in here to film and I had to turn off my fans. I am starting to drip with sweat, so I got to make this quick. So hang out, watch the build. I had a few things to do on this guitar that were a little different than other builds. The way this pickup mounts, the way this box is. So yeah, hang out and I'll show you how I put this thing together. Center line here. And I measured out for the edge, and I measured out for the edge, and well, I didn't notice when I marked it out wrong. I didn't notice when I took the saw to it. But when you stick the neck in there, you notice. I really messed that cut up bad. And this was a cute little box. I will just use it for storage now. So what did I do? I found this guy. So this box, if you remember, was in my What About Your Box video. So unlike other boxes, opens in the middle. So my corner blocks are going to be sticking up. So I actually chamfered the outside edges of these blocks to make them fit in easier when I assemble it. And it really wasn't any more tricky cutting some out of the bottom, some out of the top. It worked well. And I also decided to go with a back angle. So it's hard to see, but this line is a representation. This line will show you how I was dropping down in the back. I did not measure an angle. I did a Del Puckett and I came down 1/4 inch on the back and drew a line from that point to my 1/4 inch mark and took this off with a rasp. Learned that from Del Puckett. He's probably not the first one to do it, but thank you, Del. Bless you, brother. So this is going to have a slight back angle, and you can see I have a shim inside there to make up for this. So the whole neck will be cocked back like that, and that will give me a taller bridge. So it's a little tricky putting it on, and you got to do a little final fitting. Now and the screws for these are going to be on the back. That's why I glued the pieces to the front. So I could have all my screws on the back, the neck, the 4 corners. The bridge is going to be made out of this material, which is eastern red cedar when it's growing as a tree, and once it's cut down, it's aromatic cedar. And that's what we're going to use for the bridge. That's a really tall bridge. This is actually from the wood that you've seen behind me in some of my past videos. It is getting processed and being used for things. And I don't want to give too much away, but it's being processed and used for things. Now, this, I decided to use this hinge, and you see where I had to round it a little bit to match the roundness of the back of this guitar, this cigar box. And the only thing I really see that I'm wondering about is how close my bridge is going to be to the tailpiece and where these strings are going to come out. That might not work. I might have to do something else and get a different tailpiece so that the strings are farther back, because you have the windings right after the ball. There's not enough room for that. So we'll have to check that. And this guitar is going to get this dual rail humbucker in gold, because there's gold on it. And it's going to be somewhere around in there. I haven't decided if I'm putting a piezo in it and a switch, or if I'm just going to go with this and a volume knob, maybe a tone knob also. Haven't quite decided. but I've got work to do so I can decide that in the meantime. So to mount this pickup, I'm going to need to make some kind of a template, and I did make a small paper template, and I'm not just going to put it on here and go for it. I'm actually going to make a wooden template out of some thin, I believe it's called Juan plywood, really thin plywood, probably 8 mil. So I will take this and attach it to the wood, and I'm just going to drill where the screw holes go and where these two holes go. That way I can take a 3/4 inch bit, drill that hole, and then just connect the two of them together, and I'll have my 2 screw holes. But again, I'm going to do it on a piece of wood first, and that's going to be fun. And these don't mount with a ring on the top where the spring is between the ring and the pickup. These pickups actually have the screw through here, and the spring is on the bottom part. So I'm going to have to add a couple of chunks of wood. I'm going to have to remove some wood, and I'm going to have to add a couple of chunks on either side down here so that I have something to screw to that my spring can push against, and I can set the height of this pickup. I'm just dripping sweat. It is ridiculously hot out here. All right, let's play a little distortion. All right, thanks for hanging out, and you can find this guitar for sale on my website, woodportguitars.square.site. It's 23-inch scale, got a nice carved neck on it, a really thin line body. It's small, compact, thin, but it growls. It's got a nice humbucker in it. So thanks for hanging out and watching. Share, subscribe, comment, tell me what you think about it, tell me what do you want me to build. And hey, thanks for watching. I really appreciate it.